boys. I really like this part of the this part of the jam. Listen, what guitar solo? That part. Hits. That guitar lick is nice. Guitar outro. What up? 2 minutes before we start. Just chilling. Should we start early? Let's just start early. Let's start early, guys. I can't take it any longer. Let's just start early. Here we go. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. As you can see, my hair is at an all-time high. Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Our channel subscribers are at an all-time high. What up? So much to celebrate. But you may have noticed my little bracelet here with my medical information. Because last night, we went boogie boarding with the fam. And we stayed out in the water past sunset, a good 30-40 minutes past sunset. And I mean, there's still enough light out. You can still boogie. And after some boogie boarding action, on my way out of the water, guess what happened? Guess what happened on the way out of the water? I'll give you guys a couple minutes to guess in the chat. Guess what happened to me last night on the way out of the water after catching some tasty waves at the boogie board that required me to go to the urgent care. Guess what it was. I'll give you guys some time. We get about a minute before the show starts. We're gonna be here hanging out, shooting the, you know what? Shooting the stuff. Adjust this camera a little bit. Hair at all-time high. Bitcoin all-time high. Subscriber all-time high. Close. It was not a jellyfish, but it was a marine animal, a marine creature of some sort. I'll tell you guys a story. I stepped on a stingray. That's so bad, so dumb. I usually shuffle my feet, but it was like the end of my session. I was already getting out of the water to go home. And I was doing this kind of walking instead of this kind of walking where you shuffle your feet along the sand. And yeah, I stepped right on it. It must have been probably that big around. It wasn't even a big one. It's probably that big around. It was like a round ray. And I felt it, dude. I can still feel it in my mind. I stepped on it, like my heel is right here, the ball of my foot is right here. And right in the middle, dude, right in the palm of my foot. I stepped on it. I felt the squish. Then I felt two little protrusions hanging up. And I think those are the little fins that it has next to the tail. Those came up. I felt those kind of like fish spines. And then, boom, I got blasted, dude. Right in my foot. I got blasted by this little stingray. It was small, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but still it hurt. And then I was like, oh, shoot. It was just me by myself. It was just me and my kids in the water. And it was nuts. The lifeguards had just shut down their station. They were packing up their stuff. It was getting dark. And I was like, I thought I could just walk to the truck, but I was like, all right, I'm just gonna walk to the lifeguard station real quick because it was bleeding. And I was like, shoot, I don't want to get blood all over my car, my truck. So I went over to the lifeguard station. I was like, hey, can you guys, what's the procedure for getting a stingray, hit by a stingray? He's like, oh, did you get hit? I was like, yeah. I picked up my foot. I showed him, and it was just streaking blood. And I was like, ugh, gross. So they cleaned it a little bit. They put a little gauze on there, and they wrapped my foot. I was like, cool, that's good enough for me to get home. So I'm still in my wetsuit. And we make the walk to the car. We get in the truck. all sandy and stuff. All sandy. Didn't even have a chance to rinse off. All sandy. We get in the truck. I ride home. I drive home. I have to drive myself home. And my right foot is where I got hit, so it hurts every time I hit the brakes or hit the gas. So I'm trying to press on the accelerator and the gas with like the side of my foot, with like the edge of my foot instead of like the bottom of my foot. Because whenever I press on the gas or brake, it stretches my foot like that, and like the sting's like right there, so it's like. And so I make it home, and it hurts. I guess the stinger has venom in it. So the procedure is you're supposed to soak your foot in as hot of a water as you can take. So I proceed to soak my foot in hot water for a good 30-40 minutes. And while I'm soaking my foot, I'm watching like YouTube videos on like what you're supposed to do with the stingray sting. And they're like, oh yeah, you have to go to the doctor immediately and get like antibiotics and do all that stuff. So I was like, oh my God, it sounds so intense. So I'm scared. So I got scared, and I was like, oh shoot, all right, I can't just like bandage this. I gotta go take care of it. So I changed out of my wetsuit, bandaged up my foot a little bit. By then it had stopped bleeding, but it was still kind of a little bit bleeding. And I made it to the urgent care, and took a while for them to see me. Finally they saw me, and yeah, it was weird because like every time. Anyway, long story short, I'm good to go, but that was a crazy experience. Also, yesterday after the show, I had my meeting with a friend that was gonna help Orange Pill, and explain to them what the whole idea with Bitcoin is. We must have spent like 2 hours talking. Yeah, it was urgent. It was like some YouTube channel called like Urgent Care, 24 hour or something. 24 hour urgent care. It was like a video on one of those guys. But right now it's clean. It seems to be fine. I got some prescription like antibiotic ointment for it. So I just basically have to change the bandage every day and check on it, make sure it don't get an infection, and should be fine. I don't think there's any pieces of barb in there or anything like that. I think it was pretty clean. Like the stingray was so small, it didn't have a chance to really like destroy anything in there. It just kind of just poked me. And I think the barb didn't even go up into the foot. It went kind of like sideways like that. So a glancing blow. I told my boss about it at work. And his first reaction is like, "Oh my God, you gotta be careful." Remember what happened to Steve Irwin? And I was like, "Damn, Steve Irwin, poor dude. That sucks. That's gotta be the worst way. That's gotta be it's gotta be a awful way to go, to get harpooned by a stingray in the heart, you know." Anyway, all right, let's get back to Bitcoin. Back to Bitcoin, all-time high. Bitcoin hits $112,000 today. All right, $112,000 Bitcoin today. And the question that you'll get, the question people that's on your mind is, with this new all-time high, is this it? Is this the new all-time high? Have we peaked? Has Bitcoin stopped? Is this the end of the bull run? And should we take profits? Because now it's time for the bear run to start, and Bitcoin's going to drop 40-60%. Right? That's going to be the idea on most people's minds that don't understand how Bitcoin works, right? The price of Bitcoin is going to continue to go up because it's a reflection of the weakening dollar, right? And the circumstances that are weakening the dollar and have weakened it to this point that Bitcoin is worth 111,000, 112,000, whatever. Those circumstances, those things have not changed. If anything, the circumstances that led to that are even more extreme these days, right? There's even more of that nowadays. Okay. So is it time to take profits? Is it time to sell your Bitcoin right now that are so close to the new all-time high? They would just hit a new all-time high? Well, I would say this is not financial advice, but for me personally, heck no. Why would I sell my Bitcoin? What would I sell it for? Right? What would I sell it back to? Something that's not worth the paper is printed on, literally, right? So, no, it's not time to sell your Bitcoin. It's time to stack harder. Yes, even at an all-time high. Even at this all-time high, should we continue to stack? I don't know. Maybe. What happened to people that stacked at the last all-time high? Well, that last all-time high, people don't even think about it anymore, right? The one before this recent one, right? What was that before? Okay, so the all-time high was $110,000. Or no, let's see, daily. The all-time high was something. Was 109, right? Who even thinks about $109,000 Bitcoin anymore, right? But do you remember when Bitcoin hit $109,000 and I was like, oh my God, it's a new all-time high. And yeah, it came down from that, and then but now it's back up. So $108,000 was the new all-time high before that, right? It's wild. And then before that, what was it? 99, $100,000 Bitcoin. You're like, oh my God, $100,000 Bitcoin. That is crazy. You better sell your Bitcoin right now before it drops back down. And here we are at another all-time high, right? So, based on the pattern, based on the structure, based on the circumstances of this pump, the circumstances, the way that the world is going, do you honestly think that Bitcoin is going to lose purchasing power against the dollar when we're about to add $3.3 trillion to the national debt thanks to this big bogus bill, right? 3.3 or 3.6 million, no trillion dollars, $3.3 trillion when we add it to the money supply. That's going to expand the money supply. What happens when the money supply expands? You lose purchasing power because your dollar gets debased. So, I mean, let's buckle in, guys, because this pump right here is just I want to say, I mean, it's not just the beginning, because we've been pumping, but it's the beginning of a big leg up, in my opinion, in my non-professional, just guy on the internet talking. Okay, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy who has been saving in Bitcoin as long as I can since I figured out what it was. That's it. Okay, don't take my word for it. Look it up yourself, right? What has returned better values, what has returned better than Bitcoin this whole time, right? Tell me what has. And maybe I'll invest in that too, but right now, Bitcoin's beating everything. It's crazy. Okay? All right. Let's get going with the rest of the show. Let's jump into the first segment, actually. Let's do this. Here we go. The Bitcoin strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $111,088.00. You can buy 900 Satoshis exactly for a single dollar. Let's hang out on this page for a little bit. Maybe we'll see less than 800. Oh, there it is! 899 Satoshis for a single dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a different game now. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay? What is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. Today you can buy 899 Satoshis for a single dollar. If you're walking down the street minding your own business, you look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and the day that penny will buy you 9 Satoshis exactly. Dang, that's crazy. Okay? Go watch our channel trailer. You can see back in the day, a dollar was buying us 3,700 Satoshis. That's crazy. 3,700 Satoshis over here. 3,700 Satoshis. Now we're all the way down to 900 Satoshis. If that doesn't tell you how much purchasing power the dollar has lost since the past couple of years and since the beginning of Bitcoin, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Let's do some shout outs. Shout out and round of applause from the live studio audience for Mr. Carl Black. Hard Hollow in the house. Of course, 21 Moto. Let's go. Ride that Grom. And Mr. Carlos Jaramillo, DCA to all-time high. Let's go. Nice job. But that is what we like to call the Bitcoin strength. All right. Crazy. No, it's cool. It's cool seeing the Bitcoin doing its thing, you know. I just can't wait to go into the stack recap because it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. All right, let's jump into why we stack real quick. Oops. Why we stack? Why do we save in Bitcoin? To keep it short and sweet and to the point, today we're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated show. Maybe. We're going to abbreviate this section anyway. Okay. Why do we save in Bitcoin? We save in Bitcoin because it's the best thing you could be saving in. How so? Well, Bitcoin, like nothing else, has a limited supply that cannot be increased. Therefore, you cannot be debased. It cannot be inflated. The value of your holdings cannot be inflated away like they can in every other asset class that exists, including real estate, including stocks and bonds, and cash especially. Okay, Bitcoin is the only asset you can hold that you can be guaranteed there won't be more of it made. So, the longer you hold it, the more it's worth because its scarcity is permanent, right? And as more and more people realize that it is a great hedge against inflation, more people come to the party and they want the same Bitcoin. They want the Bitcoin you have. And what happens then? Well, people are less likely to give it up for anything less. So the only way you can make them give it up is by giving them a ton of money. And try to buy it from them by giving them a ton of money. If that doesn't work, then you have to give them a ton and a half more money. And if that doesn't work, you have to give them 2 tons of money, right? Anyway, you know what I mean? Because as more and more people understand what Bitcoin truly is and that it is the final scarcity, I guess you could say, right? Then it gets harder and harder to find people that are willing to sell it or that need to sell it at a certain price. Therefore, the price must continue to go up because the supply cannot expand. Okay? We save in Bitcoin because when you save in dollars, it's the opposite. The longer you hold the dollars, the more of those dollars get created and the less purchasing power your dollars have. So just by virtually doing nothing, you lose purchasing power just by holding the dollar. And it's the exact opposite when you hold Bitcoin, right? When you hold Bitcoin, when you save in Bitcoin, it's like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That's why we stack, to keep it simple, right? How do we stack? We buy the Bitcoin, we take custody of the Bitcoin, and we repeat. We find other ways to generate revenue, to provide value to society so that they can give us economic energy in return, and we could take that economic energy and once again stack it into Bitcoin and continue to grow that stack. Okay, so that's why we stack. This is why we stack on the Stack Bitcoin Show. Let's go. All right, that is why we stack. Let's jump into one of my favorite topics of the show. Oh my God, this is cool. I can't wait. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Here we go. It's time for the Stack Recap because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it every weekday. Day after day, Monday through Friday, we're here stacking Bitcoin, saving in Bitcoin. And this is the Stack Recap for 2025. So far, we've saved $4,320 and it's currently worth $5,127. We have accumulated 0.0462698 Bitcoin. It's gone up in value about 18.69% so far this year. In 2024, we did the same thing. We saved $7,245.47 and accumulated 0.122422217 Bitcoin. That amount of Bitcoin today is worth $13,566.29 for a gain of 84%. Another way to look at this is I bought 0.122 Bitcoin for $7,345. And if I were to try and buy the same amount of Bitcoin today, it would cost me 84% more of today's weaker dollar. All right? It's a very important thing to highlight right there. Very important thing. All right. Looking now at the strategic Bitcoin reserve for the show, where we've accumulated a ton of Bitcoin. Well, not a ton, a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Satoshis for sure. Through our regularly scheduled DCA, dollar cost average program of buying a minimum of $20 a day, every weekday, we stack, we save in Bitcoin. On top of that, we've done other things like sold things out of my garage, and we call that reclaimed BTC, because we're liberating the trapped Satoshis within the things that we don't use anymore, and turning those things into Satoshis that A, hold up less space in the physical world, and B, are actually working to make you wealthier instead of losing you value in the form of objects that are getting old. Okay, donations to the show from supporters like you. 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. We've done that once, and we're in the middle of our second 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. Also, the 21 Moto project, where we ride the Honda Grom to save 21 cents per gallon in gas, and in so doing, we save that 21 cents per mile. No, sorry, you save 21 cents per mile in gas, but we're taking that savings and we're piloting it into Bitcoin, so that the Grom's savings can pay off the Grom itself by saving in Bitcoin, right? So that's where that comes from, and also random side hustles that I do on the side just to get a little bit extra money. You know, I even do things like MC events. So anyway, that's the whole process. That's how we've accumulated the Bitcoin here on the show. And currently, the whole show strategic Bitcoin reserve is up to 0.39292514 Bitcoin, with a dollar value of about $43,660. Dang. And we're not even monetized. Dang. Right? So there it is. That is a stack recap. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. What else can I say? That is a stack recap, and that is how we roll, right? It's incredible to see the growth. Sorry, I'm making sure my chart is up here so I can see the pump. Watch the next pump. Yeah, it looks like it's about to pump hard again. I should probably do my Bitcoin purchase before it repumps, right? Okay, let's do that. What we all came to see live, the live Bitcoin purchase. Okay. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is below our average buy price for 2025. That means that today we're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right. I get my phone. Go over to my Strike app. Isn't working. There it goes. Go over to my Strike app and key in $20. Buy $20 worth of Bitcoin on the Stack Bitcoin show. Next. There it is. It's ready to go. I just have to hit confirm. Go stop the music. Hit the drum roll. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now on the Stack Bitcoin show at $111,000 Bitcoin. The new all-time high for the show. Definitely the most expensive buy we've had on the show, but it's all right, because slow and steady, that becomes one of the lowest purchases we've made on the show. Just the way it goes. ABW in the house. What up? Round of applause from the live studio audience for ABW. This is how we do. This is what we do, Andrew. We buy the all-time highs, because the all-time highs become the support become the support, and they're easily forgotten, right? We bought the all-time high at 99K, 100K, 109K, 111K, okay? And that's okay. And that is okay. All right, let's update the spreadsheet with today's really expensive buy. Right here. 7, 9, 25. The price of Bitcoin we deserve today is 111,429 and 86 cent Bitcoin. We bought once again $20 worth, and that got us 0.000. Oh my God, 17. 778. 3 sevens. That's a lucky 7 right there. But look at that. 17,000 Satoshis for $20. Damn, dude. That looks so crazy. That looks so crazy. 17,778 Satoshis for $1. No, for $20. What in the world is happening? Right? Your purchasing power is just exploding. Boom. Toma. Boom. How are these down? What? How are these down? What? These shouldn't be red. Right? That's weird. That shouldn't be red either. Why is that red? Oh. Have we hit 111,000? Oh yeah, we have 111,120. But 108,000, these shouldn't be down. These shouldn't be in the negative. What's wrong here? Reload the page real quick. Give me a second. I don't get what's happening here. What's happening here? These all should be green. Because look, it's over $20. Oops, what am I showing you guys? Game cheese. Here we go. These all should be green. Except for that one. Yeah. That one should all that one. Why is that one negative? Oh yeah, because this is a purchase at 111,120. Okay, so fine. Anyway, that's pretty good. Everything else is green. Let's see when we made our first $20 purchase. There it is. We made our first $20 buy right here on August 17th, 2023. We bought $20 worth of Bitcoin. We paid 20 cents in fees, and that got us 75,000 Satoshis. Sheesh. That got us 75,000 Satoshis, and now a $20 buy gets us 17,000 Satoshis. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. I missed Bitcoin, guys. I'm too late to start. I already missed it. Okay. We already missed it, boys. We already missed it. Okay. Look at that. 102% up for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. I forgot to mention that earlier. That's fantastic. It's fantastic. Hey, if you're new to the show, if you're new to stacking Bitcoin, you might be thinking to yourself, dang, dude, I wish I started with you guys last year or the year before that, or even this year, right? But it's okay. Just start. Just start. Okay. Because next year in 2026, when the bull run, maybe is 2026 when the bear run starts, or 2027? I don't know. When we go into the bear run, right? And after the big bull run that I don't think is over yet. Once we go back into the bull run, to the bear run, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna track 2026 by itself. And if you want to get started, you can start with us now. You can wait till next year if you want to, but I think you're gonna be better off starting immediately. Okay. The people I talked about Bitcoin to just this last weekend, right? right? If they didn't get it, if they didn't make a move, they missed out on that move to 111,000, right? Like what was it all weekend? About 108, right? It was $108,000 most of the week, most of the month, and they already missed out on like I don't know, like a 2% move. It's not a lot, right? But even then, if you didn't take my advice before, well, not advice, I'm sorry, if you didn't follow along, if you didn't start on your Bitcoin saving journey already, you might be asking yourself, dang, is it too late to start now that it's at the all-time high? I would just start. Like I don't think about it in terms of, oh, can I start? Should I wait to start so that I get more? No, dude. It's like it's too much work to think that way, to try to time it, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, my personal time that I do random things with, like go to the beach and get stung by a stingray, is worth more than sitting at my computer and trying to figure out when is the best time to buy in. Or, that's why I do the DCA, because you're not dollar cost averaging if you're trying to time the market and buy when it's down and then sell when it gets high and try to make more Bitcoin that way. No, you're not doing DCA. You're trading, right? But when you're doing DCA and you have the assurance that you're gonna save and hold that for a minimum of 4 years, then it doesn't matter if you start now at the all-time high or if you wait for it to dip. Two things can happen. It'll dip and you'll get a better buy-in and you'll get maybe like 2% more Satoshis, right? Or it takes off and it never comes back down to the prices where you thought you were going to get into, and now you have to pay a lot more to get less Satoshis, right? I'm just in. That's it. I'm just in. This year will be next year. Yeah, exactly. Carlos, I think the bear market starts next year. Yep. Okay. It's like my weightlifting journey. Just started stacking plates. Now I lift more than I ever had. Boom! Oh shoot, sorry. That's so loud. Sorry, Andrew. I know it's getting late over there. Yeah, exactly, right? Even if you're stacking I was in a what happened here? I was going to dig at Carlos. I said, even if you're stacking 1 pound plates, son. Hey, improvement is improvement. Okay? Carlos, just be super careful. Make sure you have proper technique before you add more and more weight. Okay? Because it's it's dangerous, right? You're stacking until the point where you hurt yourself or you can't lift anymore. So you got to make sure you gauge your abilities, okay? And push them a little bit, not too much. Don't get hurt, okay? Andrew, that's funny. Awesome. Sorry to hear that. All right, so yeah, it's wild. Let's put this show in Q&A mode. Q&A mode engaged. Don't over leverage your back. Oh, way to bring it back. Way to bring it back. I've been rocking this shirt all day today, and actually all day today. Check this out. Yeah, people don't even know what this means. They think, oh, cool shirt. I like Rage Against the Machine. I'm like, yeah, well, I like to stack against the machine instead of raging against the machine. How you like that? Fun times though, fun times. Oh, DCA to gains. I like that. Oh yeah, that's good. You should do that shirt. Carlos, you should do that shirt. Carlos, how do you say gains in Spanish? Ganancias? Yeah, ganancias, right? Ganancias. But it doesn't sound as good in Spanish for when you're talking about working out. What's something you say at the gym in Spanish that is similar to them gains, or something motivational you say to other power lifters. Other power lifters. I want to know. Right? I want to know. Oh, and yes, it is official. Hard Huddle. We are starting. I'm doing the what do we call it? The Bitcoin versus everything series. That is coming out. I already have a list of episodes that I'm going to do, and it's looking fire. It's looking really good. So I'm doing real estate first, but I'm going to do I think stocks and bonds, or stocks, and then bonds, and then like high interest bank yield savings accounts, all that stuff. So we're gonna have an episode for each one, and it's gonna be good. We're gonna put it in its own little section on the channel, and I think it's gonna serve us. I think it's gonna serve us well as an orange pill tool. Like when somebody says like, "Oh, hey, so what should I do with I came up on some money. Here's what my options are. Is X thing better than Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin better than X? What would you recommend?" I'm like, right, here it is. I made a video about that. There it is, comparing investing X amount of money into real estate and investing the same amount of money into Bitcoin instead. What you could expect, or what would have happened historically if you would have started 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever, right? Just something along those lines. And I think it's gonna be good. Like I said, I have the topics laid out already. I think it's going to be around 10 or 11 episodes, and I'm writing the scripts now. So once I'm done with the scripts, I'm going to start recording them, and those should go pretty quick. Hopefully they go pretty quick, but I want to start releasing those weekly. And once that series is done, we'll think of another series to do that has to do with Bitcoin, maybe like questions about like custody or whatever, right? But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. All right. I think that is all. Wednesday, halfway through the week. Yeah, amazing. All right, well, let's wrap this baby up. I think we did a good job today on the show, and I appreciate you guys showing up. Here we go. Shout out and round of applause from the live studio audience going out to Mr. Hard Huddle. Thanks for moderating. That's a wild bunch of people. Carl Black, also thanks for tuning in. Number one, Carl Black, number one. Thanks for helping me mod. 21 Moto, that's me in here just pumping up the hype. Round of applause and shout out to Mr. Carlos Aramillo. Keep stacking those plates, but do it safely. And congrats on your gains, both Bitcoin gains and muscle gains. Shout out and round of applause quietly for Mr. ABW. You have a good night, sir. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you showing up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.